let's start with the chord shapes we've got. So we need an F5, which is a power chord. So to play this one, I've got my index finger on fret number 1, and then fingers 3 and 4 on fret number 3 of the A and D strings. I'm just playing these 3 notes. But of course, since you saw my right hand, I'm strumming quite hard. We want to mute all the other strings. So my index finger is going to relax and just touch these strings, but not press onto them. So you've got something like... So that's the first shape. The second chord we need is down a string that direction. So we're going to move the whole hand position down, and now we're playing a B flat 5. It's exactly the same thing, except now we've got to be careful with the low E string. We want to mute that string. We don't want to hear that open E string. So what I do is either my index finger is going to slightly touch that string, or my middle finger is going to rest on that string, which I know is very tricky at first, but you can definitely do that by just having the index finger slightly touching it. So we've got these 2 chords. And then we're going to start from the same position again, but now on fret number 4, which is a G sharp 5. So my index finger is on fret number 4, and then ring finger and pinky on the A and D strings, fret number 6. And we're going to do the same movement as the one we started from. So we're just going to go down a string, down that direction, which is now a C sharp 5. And again, this one, just like that B flat, that A sharp that we've played, you want to mute the E string, so you've got to be careful with this one. Index finger, if you can, touching that low E string would be amazing. So let's just recap these 4 chords. So we've got chord number 1, that's F5, then B flat or A sharp 5. That's the second chord. Third chord is G sharp 5, and then the fourth one is C sharp 5. So the first step, I think, is just to get used to those shapes, because obviously we're going to strum them quickly. Just so you know, I'm going to switch now, but usually power chords, instead of playing with these 2 fingers over there, I tend to have my pinky flat, which is exactly the same thing as what you would be doing. It's just more comfortable for me, just because I grew up doing this. So the shapes would look like that, which I know is not super visual when I'm playing power chords. So I'd rather show you the proper way and then my way of doing it. If you're doing it with the pinky, good for you, it's fine, don't worry about it. Okay, so now we need to get the pattern right and then apply these shapes to the pattern. So the pattern goes like this. Right, I'll do it one more time. Definitely a tricky one. We're playing 16th notes. So the hand is moving down on the beats and down when I say and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, if I count along, I'm going to try to slow down and count along, which is always a bit tricky. We'll do our best. We go like this. So I'm just playing muted strum, so you can just focus on the rhythm. 1 and... Oh, I missed that already. 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and... Let's break it down. So I'm playing beat number 1, not playing the end of beat number 1, but then on my way up, which is the of beat number 1, I'm strumming this one, then I'm strumming beat number 2, not strumming the next upstroke, which is the E of beat number 2, and then the next few ones, I'm just going to strum them also. It's going to go and a 3 E and, again, let's just do that, and a 3 E and. I'm not strumming the of beat number 3. And then from beat number 4 on, that's where you can breathe a little bit, we're playing everything. 4 E and Let's do that again, all together, and let's count along if we can. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and a. Right, so now let's try to apply the shapes we've seen, the chord shapes we've seen, to this pattern we've just practiced. If the practice of the pattern takes longer, don't worry, just rewind the video, watch it over and over again, just get the right hand moving, you'll get there. Now, moving on to the chords within the pattern. So the first 3 strums, we're going to play the F5. So down, up, down. Okay, let's do that again. If I count along, it would go 1 and a 2. 1, a 2. And then we're going to mute the strings. So to mute the strings, what I do is I completely relax my left hand. So I'm still in the hand playing position. I'm not moving anywhere else. I'm still there, but I'm relaxing. I'm not pressing on the string. So now we get that sound there. So we're going to do that and strum the strings 4 times. So with the F that we've just practiced, it would go 1 and a 2 and a 3 E. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the top again, 1 and a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, but this time counting properly and not counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 E. On the hands, so my next downstroke, see my right hand is frozen up in the air there. We're going to move on to the A sharp 5, B flat 5. So that's the one where we just move down the string, down that direction with the left hand. And here, I'm going to play it on the next 3 strums. So it's going to be and 4 E. Again, down, down, up. So if I count along from the F, the first chord on, I'll do my best. It goes like this. 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E. Okay, one more time. I know it's a tricky one. I've been there, trust me. 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E. Now on the and so next to strums we're playing, I'm muting again. And the reason why I'm muting again is because we're about to change position and go to the G sharp and C sharp over there on fret number 4. So you're going to use that sound here and that muted strum to transpose your hand position to fret number 4. So the whole thing would go 1 and a 3 E and 4 E. And you see how I'm landing now, trying to encode my fingers, there we go. I'm landing on fret number 4. One more time. 1. Sorry, I missed that one. 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E. Right? And now, from here on, we're going to do exactly the same thing. 1 and 2. Right? Let's put everything together. I'm going to try to count along. I'll do my best. 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and a. And you see the last and a, so the last 2 strums. I'm going back to that F because we're looping this around. So all the muted strums there, they're a great way for you to transpose that hand position. I shouldn't say transpose, to move your hand position to a different spot. If this concept is new to you, I can only recommend an amazing course on Kurt Cobain that was taught by a brilliant French guitar player with a very French accent, so you should have a look. Now, let's go back to it. Let's play it twice in a row. Let's loop it around. 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and a 1, a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and back. And a 3 E and 4 E and a 1, a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and a. So there you go. Again, the main thing is to move your hand position as you're muting the strings, which is, I know at first it's extremely difficult, but trust me, I've been there. It was challenging for me to play it for a long time, but I've learned so much learning that song. So that's the main riff. If I speed up, now, I'm going to do that again. I just want you to focus on the change of hand position, so from fret number 1 to fret number 4. And you'll see that the right hand is moving. I am strumming the strings, and that's why it seems so fluid. I mean, at least I hope so. So focus on the transitions. Right, so you see, It's not because you're muting the strings that you're stuck in the hand position. You don't have to go. You can move that left hand. It's perfectly fine. Okay, let's move on to the verse. So the verse is the bit where we can, as guitar players, breathe a little bit. I'm going to have my middle finger on fret number 5 on the G string, and my ring finger on fret number 6 on the B string. And we're just going to play that. And we basically start, so the drums are playing, the bass is playing, and we start on beat number 2. So it would go, and on beat number 2 of the first bar, we play. So it goes 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3. So we just play that fret number 5 on beat number 2 and fret number 6 on the B string on the end of beat number 2. I'll count again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you see, I keep on holding on to these notes. I'm not letting go. I'm not choking them. I want to hear these notes throughout the next bar, even though we're not playing on it. We play every other bar. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the verse. We can breathe a little bit. Just 2 notes to play on beat number 2 and the end of beat number 2. Okay, moving on to what I would say is the pre-chorus. It's the same notes, but we play them on all the beats. So it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Super simple. And you want the intensity to just go up and up. So you can dig in a little bit harder. You can have the overdrive on. Right, so we've got a couple of more parts to look at. One of them is what I would call the post-chorus. And the post-chorus looks like this. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the chords. I'm starting with the F5 that we started the song with. And then you could either drop that hand position to an E5. So you see my hand position, if I'm playing it the way you should play it, with 2 fingers here instead of 1, you would drop the whole thing down here. Now, what I like to do, I think it sounds a little bit better, but it's up to you, is I like to play open strings. And the timing of this is just 1, 2, and. On beat number 3, we're going to move down to that F sharp, which is the same as F, but just up a semitone. And we're going to play it twice. So if we count along, 1, 2, and 3, and. 1, 2, and 3, and. 1, 2, and 3, and. And on beat number 4, I'm going to start bending fret number 3 of the G string up. So you see how with this hand position, you would use your middle finger to get that note. You can have then the index finger helping you out to bend that a little bit. So if I count along and play the whole thing, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. One more time, slower. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So that was the first part of that post-chorus. Now the second part goes. So we start the same way with the F, then the open strings, and back to the F. But then I'm going to change that hand position and move up to fret number 6. That I'm going to play twice. Then I'm going to go to that A on fret number 5. And then that A flat on fret number 4. So we've got. So if I count along, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. One more time slower. 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and. 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and. Let's put everything together, so the whole post-chorus. And again. I'm going to do something, and I'm going to try to count along. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And... Right, it's a pretty cool part to play. Sounds a bit weak like this with my Strat straight into the amp. Let me just add some overdrive so we have fun with this. Just so you hear that bend, and just so I can have fun with it. Sounds a lot better. Okay, last part of the song, the solo. The first part of the solo goes like this. And we're basically following what he just sang on the song. So it's a very memorable melody. I invite you to sing it first to get the timing. Now, we're going to start the solo with the middle finger on fret number 5 on the G string. And the reason why I'm starting with the middle finger is so my index finger can then play fret number 4 on the B string, and then the ring finger play fret number 6 on the same string. So we get. After that, we jump to fret number 1 on the G string. So we've got. And notice I'm dragging my ring finger a bit. We want to make it sound grungy. After that, my ring finger is going to jump to fret number 4 on the B string. I'm going to play it once and then play it and bend it. So the whole thing together. After that, we've got the index finger on fret number 2, and then I'm going to drop it down to fret number 1 on the B string. So the whole thing together, step by step. Then fret number 2, this time with the middle finger. Let's be lazy, let's not move the index finger again. Back to the index finger. And then fret number 3 with the ring finger on the G string above, and index finger on fret number 1 on the G string. So far, all together. And then we're going to go back to ring finger on fret number 3 on the G string. We're going to play it once, and then we're going to bend that string again. Bring it back, fret number 1 again, and then the open string. So all together. The bend. And we finish on the open string. Now he's repeating that twice on the record. And again. And then we've got the sort of outro of that solo that goes like this. That we repeat 4 times. So what I do is I start with the index finger on fret number 1 on the G string, and then we need to play the open string, the open G string. So either you pull off, which I like to do, or you can plug these 2 notes. And we're going to do that 3 times. But the last one, the 4th one, we're going to pull off, then play the string open, and then fret number 3 on the D string. So the whole thing would go. And again, we repeat that 4 times all in all. So. Right, so we've got everything. I'm just going to play the whole solo just to get the structure of it in mind. It's not too tricky. Again, it's the first part twice and the last one 4 times. Let's add some overdrive. It's more fun. Again. Last one. Right. So again, if you're learning that solo, the best thing to do is to sing along at first, sing the solo along, and you'll see that that's how you're going to digest the rhythm of it. I can't walk you through when we're playing each one of these notes. It would just take forever and you would absolutely hate me. So sing it over, try to digest the rhythm of it, and then you'll see that the notes are just going to know when to be played. Carry On With the Whole Song is such a great song if you're into strumming and if you're into that genre, all in all. It's obviously one of these songs that all guitar players have to learn at some point in their life. So good work. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.